Straight ahead on CCX News. What's hot in the beverage industry happens to be cold.
Cold brew is definitely the fastest growing segment in the beverage industry.
We'll take you to Brooklyn Center to spill the beans on a fast growing business. Plus,
we are growing by leaps and bounds.
Overcoming a population crunch. We visit the Wayzata School District where another school is under construction. But why it's already been a long winter for some businesses in Golden Valley. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Slatton. A water main break at a Golden Valley shopping center has temporarily closed several businesses and caused extensive damage. The water main break happened in a retail complex near Highway 55 and Boone Avenue. The building is home to a Which sandwich shop, a Papa Murphy's, and a Waxing the City. A staff member from the Waxing the City location in Maple Grove says the water main break happened in mid-December, and employees from the Golden Valley location are working out of the Maple Grove office until contractors finish the work in Golden Valley. They hope to be back in their Golden Valley location by February 1st. Brooklyn Center police are reminding the public not to leave your vehicles running unattended. This is after a spike in auto thefts. There were 145 auto thefts last year in Brooklyn Center. That's 30% higher than usual. 58 of those thefts resulted from people leaving their car running unattended. Police say it is actually against the law to do that. It's a simple crime of opportunity, and police say there are steps you can take should you need to warm up your car.
So what we recommend is remote starters or something good where if your goal is to keep the car warming up while you're not in it, that's something that works. It's in compliance with the law, and then if somebody does approach your car, they can't just drive off with it.
Brooklyn Center police do proactively patrol areas of the city to make sure people aren't leaving their cars running unattended. The northeast part of Brooklyn Center, as well as commercial areas in the city, were where the thefts took place most often. A rising tide is coming to Golden Valley to help shape the city's future. Rising Tides is the name of a newly established task force that will help provide input on Golden Valley's new equity plan. TIDES is an acronym for Trust, Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Social Justice. City officials say the main objectives are to make sure that Golden Valley is committed to an infrastructure that supports equity and inclusion and ensuring the city's hiring and retention practices are equitable. The task force consists of 11 people who will help Golden Valley reach those objectives.
I think that the city council and the city staff are excited about this. It's a priority for the city, and we're really looking forward to engaging with our community on this important work.
The Rising Tides Task Force will meet once a month, and the first meeting will be on January 15th. Governor Tim Walz took the oath of office as Minnesota's 41st governor on Monday, and at his side was Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, who has ties to our area.
My story is a one Minnesota story. It's about community. My mom lives in Plymouth. My dad lives on the White Earth Reservation.
Peggy Flanagan has represented part of Golden Valley in the State House since 2015. She is the highest-ranking Native woman ever elected to executive office. Flanagan grew up in St. Louis Park, and she still lives there. She was sworn in on an Ojibwe translation of a Bible from 1854. In her inaugural address, she reflected on Minnesota's complicated history with the Ojibwe and a push not to forget so-called forgotten voices during her term. A Brooklyn Park restaurant known for its signature sandwiches closed up shop this weekend. Fat Chance was located across from North Hennepin Community College. In the few years the restaurant was open, it became known not only for the food, but for employing people from the Affirmation House, a nonprofit that assists homeless men. The owner told the Sun Post newspaper that they couldn't make the Brooklyn Park location work and business was too slow, especially at night. The owners will be moving to a new location in Minneapolis. They said on their Facebook page they hope to reopen January 14th. Meanwhile, a new restaurant hopes to open in Brooklyn Park where Fiesta Cancun used to be. El Rancho Mexican Restaurante is located on 85th Avenue. The restaurant will come before the City Council at Monday night's meeting to request a liquor license. No word yet on when they will actually be open for business. The Wayzata School District continues to grow. A new elementary school is currently being built in Plymouth. As Eric Nelson reports, it will be a welcome addition to the northern part of the district.
It's just going to be a great building. We're really looking forward to it.
On a bleak and gray January day, construction work continued on Northwoods Elementary School in Plymouth. The K-5 facility will open in the fall of 2019.
We will open around 500, and we are built for approximately 900, and so we will be able to grow as people keep moving into the Plymouth area.
Northwoods will be the 9th elementary school in the Wayzata district, a district that has become a go-to spot for many parents and kids.
We are growing by leaps and bounds, and many of our sister schools are feeling the crunch of being overpopulated, and this school will alleviate some of that growth, but also be able to absorb new houses.
Some of that growth is right across the street. A new housing development is popping up and will someday supply students into Northwoods. When construction is finished, Northwoods will resemble Meadow Ridge Elementary, which opened in 2016.
This school will be the mirror image of that school. So I think they were very pleased with the floor plan and how that school developed.
As for the Northwoods name, this was a slam dunk because there is a forest located near the school.
The Northwoods and kind of having that feel of urban and country at the same time just feels like a nice place. I think it meets the needs of the northern part of the district.
In Plymouth, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
School officials will soon be choosing an animal nickname and mascot, and they will get input from the kids who will be going to the Northwoods Elementary School. Still ahead, a Brooklyn Center company taps into the highest growth area of the beverage industry. We'll take you there up next. Plus, some of the state's best high school gymnasts visit Brooklyn Park for a big meet. That story later in sports. But first, turning much colder. Tuesday, the temperatures drop and the winds pick up. It may be sold cold, but it's the hottest thing out there right now in the beverage industry. Cold brew coffee has seen explosive growth, and nowhere is that more evident than at a place in Brooklyn Center. In nearly 3 short years, Bizzy Coffee has taken off. The business relocated to Brooklyn Center last summer to allow for more room to grow. And as Corey Bork reports in this week's Business Matters, the company and its co-founders have exciting plans for their cold brew.
It's exciting to have our own home and make it our own space and have a little bit of room to grow here.
Inside this Brooklyn Center warehouse, something is brewing.
We'll take that coffee and we'll load it into the brew tanks.
Workers are busy meeting the demand for cold brew coffee.
Cold brew is definitely the fastest growing segment in the beverage industry.
That growth keeps Andrew Healy and Alex French busy.
So everyone was just like, you guys are just so busy all the time.
So busy, in fact, it earned them a nickname.
Most people call us the Busy Boys.
The Busy Boys are also best friends. Their idea for a new coffee venture started percolating not long after college.
It was really out of a personal need. We were drinking hot coffee. It was giving me a little bit of acid reflux, and Alex didn't want to drink hot beverages.
They used cold brew coffee to help them get through a 24-hour obstacle race. Then soon after Andrew's work as a product engineer at Pentair and Alex's work at General Mills, the Busy Boys joined forces.
We just started educating ourselves, taking coffee cupping classes, doing R&D at home, just trying out different beans, see what flavors we liked for cold brew.
They got busy starting a business. Bizzy Coffee was born.
And it's kind of this new trendy millennial market, so we're like, let's just throw it out there and see what happens.
What happened next is something they never imagined.
It's something that we started doing right away when we launched, and it luckily paid off really well.
Their business aided by the big A, Amazon. Bizzy Coffee quickly became the internet giant's top seller of cold brew coffee. The company's growth skyrocketed.
Last year we grew 300%, the year before that we grew 300%, so we're growing really fast.
Bizzy Coffee has seen tremendous growth, but while the Busy Boys say the growth is good, they don't want to sacrifice quality.
We've always been quality first, coffee's got to taste good.
The company is now busy making its cold brew for other coffee shops.
Probably not supposed to disclose those, but they're a large local chain that we all would know if we were to say the name.
And they launched their new mocha-flavored cold brew this month. Examples that a busy company likes to stay busy.
Our kind of tagline is busy coffee for busy people. We worry about making the coffee taste good and getting it to you in an easy way, and then you guys get to enjoy it and worry about your busy lives.
In Brooklyn Center, Corey Bork, CCX News.
Bizzy Coffee is also taking a page out of the Franzia playbook. It is working on selling its product in a ready-to-drink bag-in-a-box. You can find Bizzy Coffee in local retail outlets like Lunds & Byerly's and Kowalski's. And you may be wondering what the difference is between cold brew and regular hot coffee. Basically, the difference is you replace temperature with time when brewing. Bizzy Coffee's cold brew soaks coffee grounds for 18 hours at room temperature. The cold brew masks the bitterness commonly tasted in hot coffee, providing a more consistent, smoother flavor. A company that has a large presence in Golden Valley has announced acquisitions totaling $280 million. Pentair on Monday says it will acquire 2 water treatment companies that cater to residential homes. One of those companies is based in Florida. The other is based in Chicago. The deals are part of Pentair's strategy to move into new growth opportunities. Still ahead, opening student eyes to a different culture. But first, 2 of the state's best girls hockey teams play a thriller as Breck hosts rival Blake. John Jacobson is in next.
The Minnesota Girls Gymnastics Officials Association is in its 39th year of sponsoring a regular season meet. Many of the state's top teams and gymnasts were at Park Center Saturday for this 16-team event. Champlin Park was one of those teams. Sophomore Cheney New is already a 2-time state all-around champion at the MGJOA meet. New scored a 9.7 for this 4-exercise routine, good for 2nd place. On to the uneven bars. Nadia Abbott of Maple Grove scored the Crimson's best routine, a mark of 9.1. She placed 6th in Division I, right behind Champlin Park's Emma Saxa and New. Balance beam and Maple Grove 8th grader Sasha Thompson with a very nice routine. She scores a 9.3. That places her 4th in the event, and she finished 6th in the Division I all-around. To the vault, and Annika Lee of Host Park Center. Lee vaults to a score of 9.4. That's good for 2nd place among the 8 schools competing in the meets Division II. Breck was also in Division II, and this is the Mustang Sailor Hawkins, who scores a 9.3 on the 4-exercise. She finishes 3rd in the floor and 4th overall in the all-around. Back to the vault, Cheney New again turns in another great performance, landing with a score of 9.775. She wins the all-around with a season-high score of 38.35. Here are the team scores. Detroit Lakes wins the Division I competition with a score of 147.5. Maple Grove is 2nd with 143.225. Champlin Park is next. The Rebels finished 3rd out of 8 teams with a mark of 142.95. In Division II, St. Paul Highland Park wins. Breck is 2nd, scoring 127.3, the same score at Centennial. Osseo Fridley is 4th and Park Center 6th. Audrey Noah of Centennial wins the all-around in Division II. Now to girls hockey, where private school powers Blake and Breck faced off in an MIAC conference game. It's the Bears ranked 1st in Class AA. The Mustangs are ranked 2nd in Class A. First period, Breck's Allison Qualley with a clean face-off win. Olivia Mobley's shot from the point gets through, and it's Breck leading it 1-0 in the first period. Late in the first, Carly Beanett converts on the pass from Ava Lindsay, and the Mustangs up on top of Blake 2-0 after 1. But the Bears play much better the rest of the night. Second period, Ellie Morrison scores from the point, and that gets Blake on the board. Breck goalie Uma Cornier keeps the Mustangs in the lead for a long time this night. Makes a nice stop here on Maddie Tix. And then in the third period, it's Cornier, another big save, this time stopping Addie Burton on the breakaway. Cornier finishes the night with 38 saves. But with just over 3 minutes to play, Blake finally ties it. Izzy Daniel takes the carom. That's a power play goal here to tie it at 2. And a minute later, the Bears complete their rally. Burton from the slot snipes the shot home here for a goal. That's a game winner, and Blake improves to 15-1 on the season with a 3-2 win. In boys hockey, Osseo all fired up to face Irondale. An Irondale turnover leads to a goal. Jack Pojar to Cade Westman. His shot's blocked, but Daniel Ellingson follows up. He buries it just 1:29 into the contest, and it's 1-0 Orioles. Second period, Pojar wins the race to the puck. avoids the charging goalie and scores into the open net for a 2-1 Osseo lead. Down 3-1, Irondale gets one. Nate Foley takes the pass, drags it nicely around the defender and fires it home off the goalpost. The Knights are within 3-2 after 2 periods. In the third, Westman puts it toward the net. Jackson Dwyer gets control in front and tucks it away for a 4-2 Orioles lead early in the third. But Irondale gets the next 2. Darby Hansen sends it ahead, then steals it back from the defenseman in the neutral zone before burying the shot to tie the game. And this one ends in a 4-4 tie. 2 boys basketball teams off to solid starts who should contend in the West Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference met up as Armstrong and Maple Grove went head-to-head. And this one at Armstrong High School. Jared Rainey gets it to Kyle Dreyer, and he nails a 3-pointer for Maple Grove for an 11-6 lead. Dreyer nets 18 points to lead the Crimson. Jake Breitbach tries and gets it to Hezekiah Ayahweh. Up and in, and Armstrong takes a 3-point lead in a low-scoring first half. Maple Grove goes back in front in the second half. Caden Betcher sinks a 3 from the top of the key, and then it's the Falcons' turn. Breitbach with a great drive and dish to Tyler Peterson for 2 and a 31-28 Armstrong lead. Rainey is one of the area's top players, and he fights through a double team and hits a tough floater on his way to a 16-point game. Maple Grove is up by 2. Armstrong ties it up again. Devin Fry nearly loses the ball, but he recovers to score, and this one is even at 39-all. But Maple Grove makes the plays at the end. Betcher to Rainey, and he'll get free for a reverse layup. Maple Grove ends Armstrong's 6-game winning streak with a 47-42 win. And that's all for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Up next, students get a new cultural view, a school district's global initiative that recently received statewide recognition. That story when we come back. And finally, an Osseo area schools program receives statewide recognition for expanding students' worldview. The Students Connecting Through International Service program pairs up 5th grade students from 6 elementary schools to raise money and purchase school supplies for students in Mexico. The experience culminates in the spring when 5th graders travel to Mexico to hand out the supplies, and then they come back to tell the community all about it. The program was one of 5 statewide winners recognized by the University of Minnesota's Humphrey School. The Osseo Service program received a $5,000 grant too, so congratulations. That's all the news we have for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock.